Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pisces Man. Today we're doing a personal chart reading for someone that I know personally. And the main question from this person is, why do friendships keep going wrong? Okay, why do relationships become difficult or not sustainable? When is marriage likely? Is fame possible for me through YouTube or movies? Is business a good idea? What is happening during Ketu Mahadasha? This person is going through his Ketu Mahadasha. Why does life seems to be changing so much, especially since 2022? Okay, let's find out. Now, the first thing I've always look at is the ascendant, of course. Okay, this person is a Libra ascendant. Okay, Libra is ruled by Venus. And immediately this tells me this person naturally values relationships. He values fairness, harmony, balance. And most people probably see this person as friendly or approachable, diplomatic, or easy to get along with. But the ascendant only shows the outer personality. To understand what is really happening inside this person, we need to look at the moon. And this is where the chart becomes more interesting, because for Libra ascendant, the moon rules the 10th house. The 10th house is your career, your reputation, your status, your recognition, your public image. Okay. Now, where is the 10th Lord sitting? The moon is sitting in Scorpio, in the second house. Now, not only that, the moon is actually debilitated here in Scorpio. And Rahu is sitting right beside it. Now, immediately you can see a few things here. The 10th Lord of career is sitting in the second house of speech. The second house also represents communication, your family, your values, your accumulated wealth. This will create somebody whose career becomes connected to his communication. He's speaking, he's teaching, he's consulting, explaining using their voice. But the problem is moon is debilitated. And Rahu is amplifying that. This creates a mind that goes very, very deep. This is not a surface level thinker. This is somebody who analyzes everything. He remembers everything. He questions everything. And unfortunately, he can sometimes overthink everything. Okay, let's talk about friendships, because this was one of his biggest questions. For Libra ascendant, Mars rules the second house and the 7th house. The 7th house is marriage. The 7th house is relationships, partnerships. Mars sitting in Leo in the 11th house. And the 11th house represents your friends, your social circle, networks, community, your gains. Now think about what this means. The Lord of marriage is sitting in the house of friends. So this often creates relationships that come through friends, network groups, or community, or some sort of a social circle, okay? Or even social media, actually. Through social media, through introductions of someone, mutual friends. But if you look at Mars, okay, Mars is considered a malefic planet. It's considered a warrior. It's a tough planet. Mars likes to compete. Mars likes to fight. Okay, Mars wants to win. So while this placement can bring powerful friendships, it can also bring competition. It can bring jealousy. It can also bring hidden rivalry within friendships. Okay, this is one of the first placements that explains why this person may have experienced friends talking or backstabbing this person. Hidden jealousy from friends. Or discovering that somebody wasn't loyal as they appeared. Now, when you look at the strongest planets in his chart, Saturn. For Libra ascendant, Saturn rules the 4th house and the 5th house. Now that makes Saturn the Yoga Karka planet. One of the best planets in this chart. And where is Saturn? Saturn is sitting in Saturn's own sign, the 5th house. Extremely powerful. The 5th house, it represents your intelligence, your learning, your teaching, your creativity. If you're into content creation, knowledge, okay? So the strongest functional planet in the chart is sitting very powerfully in the house of intelligence, and it is also the house of creation. One of the biggest reasons why I believe this chart gets stronger with age. Life is not meant to peak early. So the early part of his life is going to be very, 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 very challenging. Okay, because this Saturn will mature very slowly. It takes its own time. Saturn is naturally a slow-moving planet. When it sits in this house, failures will come first. Definitely failures will come first. But those failures will become successes. It matures slowly. Once it matures, it becomes very stable. Okay, now the next question was if the person can succeed through YouTube or through films. Now, if I look at social media through this, one of the biggest opportunities I can see is social media, because Mercury rules the 9th house and the 12th house. Mercury is sitting in Gemini. Okay? In the 9th house, which is its own sign. And Venus is sitting there as well. The 9th house represents higher knowledge, wisdom, teaching, publishing, or sharing knowledge with the world, okay? Mercury is communication. Venus attracts people. So when I see Mercury and Venus together in the 9th house, I think teacher, I think educator, speaker, explainer, of course, content creator. This is one of the strongest reasons I prefer YouTube over films. So the chart says teacher. Okay, teach people, guide people, explain things to people. Now, that's where I see the success for this person. When we look at the current life chapter this person is having, we're looking at the main time period this person is going through, which is the Ketu Mahadasha. So it started on 19th February 2022. So you can look back in 19 February 2022 and see what events occurred during that period, okay? This is when the whole event started. And it is going to continue all the way till 18th February 2029. And Ketu is sitting in Taurus in the 8th house. The 8th house represents your transformation. Okay? It's a house of hidden truths. It's a house of endings, secrets, major life decisions. This explains why life may have felt completely different since 2022. People probably disappeared from your life. A friendship probably ended. Some friendships, some relationships probably ended, changed completely. Okay, your priorities shifted. Things that used to matter suddenly stopped mattering. Ketu is a headless body. Okay, Ketu removes any illusions. Ketu shows reality. Ketu is reality. Rahu is illusions. Ketu is the remover of illusions. It's the tail. Rahu is the head. Rahu is never satisfied. Ketu is like, stop the bullshit. Ketu will remove what no longer belongs in your life. That process will feel very lonely, but it has purpose. Okay? There's a reason for it to give you pain before it shows you reality. This person is going through Ketu Jupiter period. So the main period is Ketu and the sub period is Jupiter. Okay, from 13th February this year, 2026, until 2027, 20th January. So Jupiter rules the 3rd house and the 6th house. The 3rd house represents communication, social media, courage, content creation, your self-effort, okay? The 6th house represents work, your services, competition, daily efforts. Jupiter is sitting in Virgo in the 12th house. And this period, Ketu is activating the 8th house. And Jupiter is activating the 3rd and 6th and the 12th house. So this is actually one of the best periods in the entire Ketu Mahadasha for starting something educational. Building a YouTube channel, creating some content, teaching, okay, learning, developing expertise. The downside is that the 12th house can make progress feel slow. You may be working hard without immediately seeing the results. Now, if you go even more specific, so this period is Ketu Jupiter. If you go even deeper, he's going through Ketu Jupiter Mercury time period, which is amazing because you see, from 29th May 2026 this year till 16 July 2026, this is one of the best periods in the entire Ketu Mahadasha. Okay, so the sub period and the sub period is good. Why? Because Mercury rules the 9th house. Mercury sits in its own sign. Mercury is joined by Venus, and both are sitting in the house of teaching and publishing. If somebody asks me when I would rather start a social media account, channel, a YouTube channel during this current period, I would say this is one of the first periods I would look at. Okay, not because guarantees success or anything, but because the houses activated match communication, education, content creation perfectly. Okay, let's talk about marriage. Okay, can marriage happen during Ketu Mahadasha? Yes, absolutely can happen, especially during two periods, which I prefer if marriages this person wants to get married in the Ketu Mahadasha. First period is Ketu Jupiter period. For this person, that would be from 13th February till 20th January 13th February 2026 till 20th January 2027. Okay, the second best period in this whole Ketu Mahadasha is the Ketu Saturn period, which is 20th January 2027 to 25th February 2028. Okay, in fact, I actually like Ketu Saturn more for commitment, because Saturn is the Yoga Karka planet for this person. Saturn is very powerful. Saturn is very, very stable. Saturn wants something long term, less excitement, of course, but much more permanence, And then we reach the major turning point of the chart, which is on 18th February 2026. The Venus Mahadasha begins. Okay, 18th February 2029 until 18th February 2049. This is where I believe life becomes noticeably easier. Venus rules the ascendant. Venus sits in the 9th house with Mercury. So Venus Mahadasha will activate yourself, your relationships, your fortune, your teaching, your travels, recognition, your growth, your knowledge, your business, your audience. If you start the YouTube channel now, if Ketu Mahadasha is the rebuilding phase, then Venus Mahadasha is the expansion phase. So whatever you start now will expand during the Venus phase. And I would not be surprised if many of you think that Ketu period is one of the worst periods to do anything or get married or whatever. Okay? I won't blame you. But we have to look at the chart individually. And in this chart, it's a completely different story, because how well the planets are placed, even for a malefic planet. For this person, many of the rewards come from hard work. The hard work that the person puts in between 2022 to 2029. And the results begin to appear during his Venus Mahadasha after 2029. So my final verdict on this chart is simple. The biggest strength is Saturn. The biggest opportunity is communication. The biggest gift is teaching. And the biggest problem, or the warning that I can give this person, is to not overthink. That's the challenge I think this person will have in his whole life, that overthinking, mental stresses. And the biggest mistake this person can make is waiting for a perfect time instead of simply starting something, because this chart will reward consistency than perfection. Okay, so you don't have to be perfect, guys. Okay, all right, so this was my analysis, guys, and take care. Bye bye.